Greetings and welcome once again, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 friends. In this video, I'm going to walk through an alternative method to building scenery folders and packages. This method will be outside of the SDK. I find this method to be simple. Hopefully you will find it to be simple. This will give you an option in building your scenery folders. In my opinion, it's easier to build a scenery folder outside of the SDK than it is to work within SDK building folders, as I showed you in my very first scenery tutorial. To build your scenery folders, all you will need is a simple text tool which is in your Windows 11 or Windows 10 and this video. The video's now on the screen. All of the scripts that are going to be necessary are within the pinned comment within this video, and I will walk you through this simple process. The first step, I'm going to create a folder where all of my scenery files will be located from now on, and temporarily I'm going to place this folder on my desktop. So build a folder on the desktop. I named mine Patriot 6 Scenery Files. You can name yours whatever you want. So now that I have my folder open that is in my desktop, the Patriot 6 Scenery folder, I'm going to create a new folder. This will be my template folder, and I'm going to give it a name. The name Patriot 6 Scenery template. You can choose whatever name you like. Once this folder is built, I'm going to open this folder. With my scenery template folder open, I'm going to add another folder. I'm going to name this folder Package Definitions with a capital P and a capital D. You will notice that I used one word, Package Definitions. And now I'm going to build another folder. I'm going to name this folder one word, Package Sources with a capital P and a capital S. At this point, I'm going to open up my text editor. I use Notepad++, but you can use Notepad, WordPad, any simple text document. I'm going to make my first XML. I'm going to call it sceneryproject.xml. And I'm going to copy all of this information right here and paste it into the text editor. And I want to save this, and I want it to be on the same level as the package definitions folder I just built and the package sources folder I just built. Let me navigate back to my desktop. Inside my template folder, sceneryproject.xml, and save. Move this out of the way, and there it is. I will look and make sure the script is in there, and the script looks fine. The next step is I'm going to my package definitions folder and open. I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to name this folder My Company, one word, scenery simple. And now I'm going to create another XML. Here is the script I'm going to use. It's a pretty large script actually. So I'm going down to find all of the script. It ends right here. So I want to grab all of this up to this point here and copy. bring up my text document again and paste this in. Looks very good. And I want to save it at this level here in the package definitions folder. So I'm going to navigate to package definitions. I'm going to give this the same name as above. My company scenery simple .xml. And save. Move up a level back to package definitions. And there we go. One last step here. I'm going to open my company scenery simple. We're in Patriot 6 scenery files, the folder on my desktop. We're in the scenery folder. Patriot 6 scenery template. We're in package definitions. And now we're going to my company scenery simple. I'm going to add another folder. I'm going to name this folder Content Info, one word with a capital C and a capital I in info. That looks good. And I'm going to use my script editor once again. I want to clear it out. The script I'm looking for here is the business JSON. Here it is right here, very simple script. So I want to copy all of this here, paste to my text editor. I want to save it inside my company scenery simple folder. Here is my company scenery simple. I want to be on the same level as content info. I'm going to call it business with a capital B .json. And save. And move this out of the way. Go up a level and come back to make sure it's in there. And there it is, and we're good. I'm going back to my first level and I want to open package sources. I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to name this model lib, one word, with a capital L for lib. While we're here, I'm going to open model lib. I'm going to create one more folder and call it texture. Stay with me here, this is really easy stuff. I'm going to go back up. I want to add another folder and simply call this scene. We are done now, so we can test to see if this works. Okay, hold everything. Before I proceed, I'm going to double check my work and make sure everything is in place. You may follow along. So here is my scenery template. I'm going to open. I have a package definitions folder. I have a package sources folder. I have a scenery project XML. Everything spelled correctly. I'll start by looking into the package definitions. I have a folder My Company Scenery Simple, and I have another XML file. I'm going to open this folder. I have content info and my business JSON. Inside the content info is nothing. Let's look at the business JSN. This is a script that should be in the business JSN, including the top and bottom bracket. And now, still inside the package definitions folder, I'm going to take a look at the My Company Scenery Simple XML. And this is the one with the longest script in it. So this is the information that should be in this XML file. I'm going to go up a level. Back to my first level, I'm going to look in package sources. You should have a model lib and scene. Inside the model lib is a texture folder. Inside the texture folder is nothing. Inside the scene folder is nothing. Back up. I'm going to look at the script of my final XML. And this is the script that should be in the final XML. If you pass this test, your scenery folder is ready to build scenery and create a package. Okay, I'm going to test my scenery folder. So I want to bring the folder up. And to make sure I always have a template, I'm going to make a copy of this. An alternative is you can zip this file and unzip when you get ready. Or if you accidentally use this file, you can always go back through this video. So I'm going to copy, paste it into my scenery folder, and give it a unique name. I am going to park on a tarmac at KMEM, Memphis International, and test my scenery folder. So I gave this folder a unique name, Patriot 6-KMEM-lights. And now let's get into the sim. Of course, I want to go into developers mode. So it's options, general options, developers, on, apply and save. And now to the airport. I'm going to go up to my developers menu, options, and pause the sim. On the developers menu, I want to open the developer's camera. I'm going to move around here a second and get control of the camera. It can be like a wild horse. Alright, I have control. And now I want to go to my dev menu again, to Tools, Project Editor. The project editor opens with the inspector. If the inspector does not come up, you can go to your project editor, view, and tick on inspector. Now I want to open our new project. Project, open project, navigate to my desktop, navigate to my Patriot 6 scenery files, navigate to the new package folder, Patriot 6 KMEM lights, open, and go down to the bottom XML document and select open. On the project editor, I want to highlight My Company Scenery Simple. I'm going to put some information into the inspector. KMEM lights. This is simply for the content manager. Going to add my company name. At this time, I'm going to insert a photo that I placed in my scenery folder that is on my desktop. The photo is optional. For simplicity's sake, if you'll keep it in the same folder, like the Patriot 6 scenery files on my desktop. It makes it easier to find. Here's the photo. Open. And now I'm going to build the package. The dialog box will pop up saying modifications detected. You want to tick yes. The package is built. I'm going back up to my developers menu, Windows, and turn the console off. And now on my project editor, I want to tick the project here, and it reveals my scene BGL and your model lib. I want to tick my scene, go to the inspector and hit load in editor. And several windows pop up. We do not need material editor, so I'll X out of that. We do need objects, and we need the scenery editor. We are waiting on scenery to load in. Okay, with the scenery loaded in, I'm going to tick all, and I'm going to add some airport lights, so I'll type in mast to get me into the location, and select the mast. I can duplicate or do the one-click add thing. It doesn't have to be fancy for this tutorial. I'll stick another light type in. You can always do what I just did, add one by one, or you can tick on one of the objects, like here, and simply hit the duplicate button, which creates a duplicate for you to move around. With our ugly lights in place, now I'm going to save the scenery. I want to go into my working scenery folder and open. I want to go down to package sources. I want to go down to scene. And I want to save the scenery file, KMEN lights. One word is fine. And save. The scenery is saved, so I want to build my package again. To do so, I want to go to Project Editor, tick My Company Scenery Simple, and Build Package. The package is built. I'm going to close the console, my window, console. I'm going to Tools and close my tools. And now I'm going to exit out of the sim. I'm going to drill down in a new scenery folder I created. I'm going to find packages, and I'm going to move the package into my community folder. Here is our scenery folder we're working on. So I'm going to open my scenery folder up. I'm going down to packages and open. Here is my package folder. I'm going to copy. And now I'm going to paste into my community folder. Once I have the package in my scenery folder, I want to give it a unique name so that I know going forward what this package represents. I named it Patriot 6 KMEM Lights, which, if you recall, is the same name of my package. I'm going to close my folder down, close my community folder down. I'm going to get out of developers mode. now I'm going to restart the sim to pick up the new package. Now that I've built a folder, placed it on my desktop to hold all of my scenery files, I have built a template folder, placed the package within a community folder, restarted the sim, and now I'm back at Memphis International Airport, and hopefully the lights I placed in my test package work. I'm going to go to my outside camera and spin around. Well, that's a pretty good sign. And there are my ugly lights. And now you have two different methods that you can use to build scenery folders. You can decide which is easiest for you. For me, this process I just used is easiest for me, and it's foolproof. I know it's going to work every time, and it always feels a little awkward building a package through the SDK. I hope this was helpful. I hope you got something from it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave the comments below, and certainly use the scripts below to get you through this. Thank you for watching Patriot 6.